Well, the US Open 2025 has just concluded the first half of it in the women's singles final because the breaking news update, Aryna Sabalenka, the number one seed, has managed to win and defend her US Open crown by successfully beating Amanda Anisimova 6-3, 7-6, winning the tiebreaker 7-3. Back-to-back US Open titles for Aryna Sabalenka, but you have to say that this was a much improved show from Amanda Anisimova. I mean, look at it. She came 8 weeks after the double bagel thrashing that she had gotten in Wimbledon against Iga Swiatek. 6-0, 6-0. You felt that how could Amanda Anisimova bounce back from all of this? Well, in the quarterfinals and in the semifinals, she beat former world number ones in order to make it to the final. So credit to Amanda Anisimova in that. In the final, at least this time she won points. She won games. 6-3. It was like the nerves were just coming up at the stage for Amanda Anisimova. She tried her level best, but at the end of the day, 7 double faults. Double faults at crucial times combined with forehand errors that came up ensured Anisimova just could not get going in the first set, and that is why nerves plus double faults at crucial times as well as forehand errors which were tremendously high ensured Aryna Sabalenka won the first set quite easily. I mean, she won it in close to half an hour, 35 minutes at that stage. Then came the second set. In the second set, Aryna Sabalenka actually was leading 3-1, but then she broke back. Anisimova broke back to make it to 3-3. But then yet again, she couldn't maintain the momentum. Sabalenka broke her back and she was serving for the championship at 5-4. But a slew of errors, including one smash, which resulted in a net, and some inspired forehand play from Anisimova ensured that she broke back at 5-5 and then she held a serve at 5-6. She tried her level best to break Sabalenka at 5-6, but it just didn't happen, and she took it into the tiebreakers. In the tiebreak, she started off with an ace, but at the end of the day, it was Sabalenka's big match experience that ensured that she would go on and win the US Open 7-3. When she had opened up a gap of 5-2, and then it became 6-3, it became too much for Anisimova to ensure that she could catch up, and that is why kudos to her. At least she fought, but Aryna Sabalenka, what a US Open she's had. She's now won it back to back. She won it in 2024. She's now won it in 2025. Australian Open and you look at it, US Open. Hard courts is where Sabalenka dominates, and because of that now, she is in a very elite company indeed. It was revenge also for Sabalenka against Anisimova. Don't forget, in the Wimbledon semifinals, it was Anisimova who had dumped Sabalenka out. And in 3 editions of Wimbledon, you look at it 21, 23, and 25, Sabalenka has always lost in the semifinals. And that is why this 2025 Sabalenka has ended on a high, but she would be ruining the fact that she missed the French Open title. And Wimbledon losing to Anisimova, but Anisimova in the end, she had been double bageled by Iga Swiatek. But Swiatek got her revenge, Anisimova got a revenge over Swiatek. Now, Sabalenka has gotten a revenge over Anisimova in that sense. But you have to give credit to the US player. I mean, who would have thought that 6-0, 6-0 8 weeks ago, she would put up a rather good show. And that is why, if she had held her nerve in those crucial moments, 7 double faults as compared to 2, she would have at least given Sabalenka a tough fight. But unfortunately, it was not meant to be. And that is why 2 consecutive Grand Slams, she's lost in 2 finals. But it's just beginning. The journey is just beginning for Amanda Anisimova. And that is why you will see some wonderful returns from her in the near future. 2026 promises to be a very good year for her. But who can stop the Sabalenka juggernaut? That we'll have to see in the hardcourt season. Now, there is only one game remaining. And that is the men's singles final between Sinceras. It is Yannick Sinner versus Carlos Alcaraz in the men's final. 1 versus 2. This is going to be an awesome US Open indeed. I mean, you already saw how they gave a performance in Wimbledon, even in the French Open. Now you're going to see this duo fight it out in the US Open. Can Sinner once again become the first since Roger Federer after a very long time to defend his crown? Can Alcaraz end the Sinner dominance that has been happening in 2025 so far? Whatever it is, we are now gearing up for a fantastic US Open final in the men's category between Yannick Sinner, the number one seed, and Carlos Alcaraz, the number two seed. Alcaraz brutally decimated, you may say, Novak Djokovic, denying him the 25th in 2025. Now, Felix Auger-Aliassime was also brushed aside by Yannick Sinner, and that's why the last match of the US Open will begin in about, you may say, 12 plus 9. It'll start in the next 20 hours or so. So, yes, we are now in the last part of the US Open. Sabalenka is the women's champion. Who will be the men's champion? Yannick Sinner or Carlos Alcaraz? We will be bringing you the live updates for that as well. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this update. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.